Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. 'Tis I, the jabbering magpie, bringing you more Shadowrun Dragonfall. Today we are actively hunting down and killing a man called the Engineer, who is a former Russian Spetsnaz, who's trying to aid one of the gangs in the neighbouring Kietz to the Kreuzbazaar. And we do not like that, so let's kill the shit out of this gang he's trying to help. Well, you didn't do very well, did you, son? Is there anything which can be done with that panel? Nope, guess not. Right, we need to move close to him in order to use this device. Some kind of cyberware disabler, which will hopefully aid us in taking the bastard down. Right, I'll poke the door. Oh shit, we got him. Okay. Run up here. Try and use a disabling shot on him. That didn't work. At all. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Like, neither me nor Iger have anywhere near holy shit. He's ripping us to fucking pieces. Alright, daring assault. I'll just save here. Iger, if you'd be so kind as to get around this corner, please. And patch me the fuck up. So I may run over and hit this complete and utter bastard. What do you mean not enough AP? We have enough AP. Oh, buggering shit it. Why are you all the way over there, Mr. Thomas? Just slowly move your way forward, I guess. Right, go to cover. You just deal with this fucker somehow. A discarded Sabot round. In fact, let's just get 2 rounds. Aim for the head. God damn it. Just improve your aim in general then. Come on, move up, move up, move up. We have a man to kill. Oh good, nice to see the Boomona trauma kit automatically functions. In that case, Iger, you're in charge of just killing this fucker. Hit him. There is fuck all I can do here. Okay, finish him off. Excellent. Because if I run into anything with my current character, I'm just not going to be able to do anything. This is frustrating. Run past him. Run past him. Piss. Pissing, pissing, piss. If we restart this level, we can just try getting that leg shot on him. That was annoying. Like, my characters do not have enough AP to deal with that fucker. Okay, new plan for me. I just run straight forward. Hopefully the boom owner will kick in. And I get you patch yourself up. Come on, come on, come on, you fucker. What do you mean, not enough fucking AP? Alright, come on. Forward, kneecap shot on him. See if you can hit. Yeah, we're not gonna make this. Like, do I have to be right next to him? Fuck. Fuckety fuckety fuck. Okay, you know what? Just try and block his path, because he's going to head more towards the right to get past this barrier. Just fucking shoot that fucking face. I don't get this. How much AP do you have? I'll stand right next to you. Alright, go there, right in front of his stupid motorcycle. You, come on, forward. Never mind your ammo. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. I'm gonna pause the recording until I figure out how to deal with this fucker. Give me a moment. And we are back. Look what I caught in the back of the head with a flashbang grenade. After a slight googling on the internet. And fuck you. May your pain be eternal. Now I just have to kill frickin' Bill and Ben, the arsehole men. And we should be good to go. Really? Let's just sneak around here. Right. Congratulations, you're in snipey range. This is going to hurt you. Oh, it did hurt. It hurt so much. Bye. Fucking grenade. Tits. Sabot round. As his armour disintegrates as if it were tissue paper and toothpaste. Yeah, your little shitty pistol's not going to do much. Trust me, I've built an entire character around being armed with a little shitty pistol. You die quickly. Iger taking pot shots. Can we hit him? No. Yay! We got him. Help me drag this guy back to the warehouse. We're going to find out what he knows. Let's torture a man. The engineer lies splayed out on the ground, his body trembling violently. Iger shoves a bottle up his nose and squeezes. The engineer shudders violently and then the trembling begins to subside. She glances at you. An aerolized BZD to help treat with the seizures. Bannock was kind enough to include that in his goodie bag. It won't last long, but it'll give Yuli here enough muscular control to answer a few questions. The engineer's voice comes out, a trembling stutter. Fuck you, troll. I recognise him from somewhere, I swear to God. See, he's already talking. The engineer's eyes burn with hate, beads of sweat dot his brow as he struggles to control the tremors that rack his body. He takes a deep breath, holds it and releases it slowly, then the trembling begins to subside. Oh, we're going to play good cop, bad cop. Oh, Iger darling, you're bad cop. I'm sorry we had to use that thing on you. Must be terrible having shakes like that. It is. Is that what you wanted to hear? I know the troll bitch, we have history, but you are a stranger to me. Are you sure that you have the stomach for this stranger? Not many do. I'll manage, but if you give us what we want, this'll go a whole lot easier on you. I've got nothing for you, Shadowrunner. The sooner you learn that, the better off we'll all be. Oh, Yuli. She slaps him across the face, splitting his lip down the middle. The impact sounds like a gunshot. You're in no position to make demands. Iger leans in towards the engineer. He recoils, grinding the back of his head against the grease-stained Duraplast tiles. You're helpless, a fucking cripple. But if you answer our questions, things will go easier for you. So tell us, whose payroll are you on? She grabs a fistful of the orc's hair and lifts his head, her face an inch from his. Tell us who sent you to Shatternest. There's a long pause. Eventually the engineer looks away. Good work, you're scaring the shit out of him. Alright. You want to know so badly, I'll tell you. Terminus sent me here. They want to use Shatternest as a base of operations in Berlin. My point of contact is a ghoul named Beetle. He leans forward and locks eyes with Iger. There, you got your intel. Now set me free or kill me. Yuli, you wouldn't roll over an employer this easily. Your rep tells me that much. No. No, Iger's right. You're jerking us around. You wanted a name. I gave you a name. What more could you want? I can give you those too. I can name you 100 clients who'd love to have a piece of Shatternest. How do you intend to determine who really sent me? I've got a couple of ideas. You can try beating the truth out of me, you can try cutting on me. Get creative with the pliers if you like. Every time you hurt me, I'll give you a different name. Touch me or don't, it will end the same way. I'll be dead, you'll know nothing for certain, and my clients will move ahead on schedule. Cooperate, and maybe it doesn't have to end that way. Maybe you'll get out of here alive. You think I'm delusional, man? I'm already dead. The she-troll beside you is going to put a bullet in my brain as soon as she gets what she wants. Just look at her. Take a long look at the ugly troll face. She's just aching to put me on the ground. My Russian is sounding a bit like a German. Iger hands bunch into fists. She's still smiling, but you can feel the heat of hatred behind her eyes. You've got bigger issues to worry about than my face, Yuli. If you don't start telling me what I want to hear in the next 30 seconds, this is going to get messy. I know that you look, Yuli. I'd start talking if I were. The engineer cuts you off. A perverse smile has spread itself across his face. You know Iger? I'd like to tell you a story. We share so much history, you and I. Iger says nothing. This is a funny story. It's a story about your time in the KSK, a story about futility. I can tell you all about the many lives you touched and how the Syndicate touched them again afterwards. Would you like that? Iger turns to face you. Mags, do me a favour. Sweep the building for intel. Anything that we might have missed on the way in. I don't know if that's a great idea, Iger. It's necessary, Mags. And I won't let this twisted little prick chase me out of the room. He can tell me whatever story he likes. It feels like this guy is getting on your skin and we can't afford to kill him before we get to the truth. Don't worry about me. I've got everything on my end. This asshole is right about one thing. We aren't going to solve this on word alone. Agreed, but I don't think we can beat the answer out of him either. No, of course not. I'm sure that he'd eventually spill the name we're looking for, but it would be buried in so much white noise that it'd be impossible to filter out. If you can find some corroborating evidence, though, we might help us wade through a river of bullshit you're spewing. I can't tell you what to look for, but he was doing business with Rambok in this building. There must be something in here that can tell us who he represents. Alright, Iger, but remember, we need this son of a bitch alive. No torture. Yeah. I'm good. Be quick. Okay. Let's try to make sure she doesn't kill him. Chemical storage. That's completely empty. Courier drones. It looks melted. The cargo container is empty. Generic courier drone has been snapped together out of prefab parts from a dozen different manufacturers. It's a cheap utilitarian thing, remarkable only in that it's so incredibly plain. Half-bright teenager could cobble something together like this in an afternoon. The drone sits in a charging cradle. Its turbofan unpowered, a cheerful green light blinks on its front panel to remind you it's still active. You can see a silhouette of something under the flimsy plastic dome of the drone's cargo component. Whether this thing was here to deliver, it's still carrying it. Well, let's see what it is. You depress the catch on the container's plastic lid. Rather than swinging open, the lid slides back to reveal a touchpad. Looks as though This thing is password locked. Alright, we'll rig into the drone. Patching into the drone's OS via your remote control rig is simple enough, but you run into a hitch. Whoever set this thing up seems to have installed a number of anti-theft safeguards to prevent unauthorized access. You could attempt to slip past them, but there's no telling what will happen if you trip one. Push past. Whoever put this thing together was good, surprisingly good, but not as good as you. Oh yeah, no one's as good as Max. You slip past the safeguards and within seconds its functions are yours. Show me the lid. Show me what you got. A homemade SimSense chip sits securely in a custom-made plastic bracket. We'll have that. A few seconds later, a hissing sound comes from somewhere deep within the drone. Oh, fuck me. The hissing sound grows into a roar. Bright white sparks spit out from the drone's melting chassis and streak across the room. You've seen this kind of reaction before. Thermite. Whoever built the drone must have wired it with a self-destruct device. Within seconds, all that's left of the little drone is a molten wreck of charging cradle. Foul-smelling smoke pours out of the remains. We steal another glance at the chip you've recovered and turn away. Right, so we've got a SimSense chip. Oh, a dead man. Broken body of a human man lies on the floor. His face is a mess of fresh cuts and congealed bloods, and his head is oddly deformed. Despite his wounds, his mouth is twisted into a macabre smile. Inspect the body. Judging by the shape of the ganger's head, you'd have guessed that his skull has been fractured in at least 3 places. The centre of his forehead is particularly gruesome. It looks soft, as though his skin was stretched like a tent between shards of broken bone. Looking up, you can see a great smear of gore on the door of the room that you found him in. The implication is clear. The man bashed his own head in trying to get out, and he did it with a smile on his face. His hands are badly broken too. You've seen these sorts of injuries in bare-knuckle fistfights, but never anything this severe. The man punched something hard, went on punching until his hands were reduced to useless slabs of meat. Ooh, squishy. Okay, so I can't draw a medical conclusion of that as my bio skill isn't good enough. So let's hope there's something else in here. Ledger. Small ledger. Covers cheap leatherette and the paper is tissue-thin newsprint. What do they have? Handwritten text. Judging from the accent marks, it's Scandinavian. While you can't read it, the arrangement of text tells that your ledger is primarily being used as an address book. Pocket the book and move on. There is a friggin' Norse hammer here on the wall. That's like a Sartu symbol or something. Forklift is dead. Maybe they're using the SimSense chips to try and turn people into frickin' zombies or something. It's always zombies. With survivor hole crafting elements. Whatever the fuck they call them these days. As you approach, you can see the engineer's chest is sheeted with blood. Most of it seems to be streaming from his nose, which is crushed into a wad of bloody meat. Iger turns to face you, her bunched fists are dripping red. God damn it! Find anything? I thought we said we weren't going to resort to torture. This isn't torture, it's justice. If you knew half of what this bastard has done, if you heard the things that he just told me, you'd do the same. Maybe so, but you're on edge and I need you calm. Beating on him isn't helping. Just tell me what you found. Yes, please. Enlighten us. I found this ledger. Don't recognize the language, but it looks Scandinavian. Iger leafed through the journal, quickly flipping the soy calf stained pages. Norwegian, maybe. I'm thinking this was written in bokmål, which is just standard Norwegian as far as I know. I can't read it, but it looks like a shipping manifest. Yeah, something like that. There are a lot of addresses in there. Looks like addresses all the way through. Some are annotated, but I can't see any names. 2/3 of the way through a book, she stops short. Find something interesting? Wordlessly, she turns the journal around. At the top of the page is written in a different hand. In a single word, it's written in English. You can't understand it, but you can understand it all the same. Wednesday. She nods. Yeah, not particularly helpful about a full date, but I guess it's something. Of course, Wednesday might not be referring to the day of the week at all. It could be a code for something, taken out of context. Like this, it's impossible to say. So what do you make of this? This should be good. It might be nothing, or it could mean that he's back in bed with the Lobachevsky syndicate. The engineer holds a silence. Is that Yuli? It's Yuli? Are you taking orders from your old bosses again? Maybe. Who's to say? What's happening on Wednesday, Yuli? This Wednesday I'll be putting your mother to work on the street corner, and when she's all worn out I'll give your father a shot at the job. You can do better than that, mate. Come on. Go die in a ditch. Did you find anything else? We need to be sure about this before moving on. There are a pair of courier drones in the other room, no markings, they look custom built. One of them had this, had been slagged, but the other had this chip in its storage compartment. When you produce this chip, the engineer's eyes widen slightly. He turns his head and coughs, rack his body. Oh, we found something. Interesting. This means something to you, Yuri? Iger takes the chip from you and holds it up to the light. No identifying markings, but I've seen enough BTLs in my life to know that one when I see it. But this is different. It's been modified somehow. Go ahead and slot it, bitch. It'll take you on the ride of your life. Smack him for me, will you? I'm busy. We can ask what a BTL is. It's a better than life trip to fucking... Basically you get high on them. We'll ask her what they are anyway. You don't get much, do you? BTL is a kind of SimSense chip. Stands for better than life. They're cheap, easy to find, and incredibly addictive. People have died of dehydration whilst riding BTLs. It's pretty common on the streets. They just stay plugged in until the bodies give out. What a pretty way to go, believe me. And speaking of which, look at Yuli's temples. See the way the sweat beading up? I'd say our friend here has developed himself a habit. You don't know what you're holding, slag. You don't deserve to touch that chip. I thought this guy was a professional. He is. I know his rep. I know he's much too careful to get himself addicted to Sims. If these have him hooked this badly, they must be even more addictive than standard BTLs. This wouldn't be the first time that something like this hit the streets. Talk with enough Sim junkies and you'll hear all about it. Interesting. Tell me more. There's a sort of legend out on the streets. The ultimate high, they call it 2XS. Never heard of it. Supposedly it hit the streets of Seattle a couple of years ago. It vanished after a couple of months. There one day, gone the next. Nobody knows why. Scary stuff. I haven't heard rumours of anything like that around here, thank God. I'm not saying that this is 2XS or even anything like it, but there are Sims out there that are even stronger than BTLs. It's possible that this is one of them. You got anything to add to that, Yuli? You have no idea how wrong you are about all of this. If I could move my arms, I'd take that chip from you and show you what it does. I'm sure that you would. Good find, Max. We've struck a nerve. Any other thoughts? Found a body in the other room. From the looks of things, he tried to use his head to beat down a steel-reinforced door. Interesting, but not unusual in these parts. There are all kinds of drugs that could make a person act that way, and most of them aren't hard to get in a place like Shadowrun. What about the SimSense chip? Could that drive someone to do something like this? I don't see why not. It's worth checking out at any rate. Check the body and see if he had a chip, Jack. Just be quick about it. I don't know how long I'll have before we have company here. Yeah, we need to get a move on. What do you have, my friend? Search for the missing chip. Peeling back the patch of matted hair, you find something a casual viewer would have missed. The Mad Head is chip, Jack. It's a cheap model, sufficient for loading SimSense chips and BTLs, but little else. It doesn't take much effort for you to pry it open. We are literally prying open his head. Ooh. Inside the chip, Jack, you find a glob of plastic. It looks like whatever this guy was running melted down sometime after he slotted it. Chip, Jack, like this couldn't generate enough heat to destroy a SimSense chip. The only logical conclusion is that the chip itself was wired to melt down after use. Take the burned out chip and leave. Right, we got it. The engineer's eyes remain locked on the chip. His face has gone a pallid white and his shirt is drenched with sweat. His eyes bulge and his breathing is heavy. Find what you were looking for? Yeah, I pried his chip jack open and found a blob of melted plastic inside. It was warm to the touch. I've heard of things like this before. Single-use Sims designed to self-destruct after they become slotted. Keeps the customers from reusing the same BTL over and over again. I'd say you found our missing chip. I don't know who would have willingly slot something like this. It drove him to kill himself, and from the looks of his body, he enjoyed every second of it. You don't know a damn thing. Why don't you educate us? The chip doesn't drive you insane, it opens your eyes. Slot one and you become a god. Iger stares at him, her expression flat. The engineer sneers. I too was skeptic. Then the wolf caught me and the raven opened my eyes, and now at last I can see. Oh, very Norse mythology there. Give me the chip. It was promised to me. I need it. Tell us who you're working for and it's all yours. Winter Night. There is a moment of silence. Finally, Iger speaks. Never heard of them. Of course you have a bitch. If you had, you'd already be dead. They don't have loose ends. They have money, she-troll. Money and influence enough to put the syndicates to shame. Even I cannot just say how much. But I know that what I've seen is just the tip of the spear. Alright, let's just say you're telling the truth and some sort of secret society is behind this. What do they want with Shadowrun? They do not tell me these kind of things. All I know is that they want to store things here. Crates, boxes, shipped in from all over. No cargo inspections and no traces back to them. And what are they shipping in? Weapons, drugs, more of these BTLs? You think I asked them? It's not my place to know. All that I know is that what was promised to me. Give me the chip. You promised. He promised you the chip. Iger smiles at the engineer. Slowly she pulls a knife from a belt. Its serrated edge gleams in the light. I, on the other hand, didn't offer you a goddamn thing. Maybe we should just let him slot the thing. Let him blow his own head up. Not unless he sweetens the deal. You hear that, Yuli? I'll give you what you want, but you need to make it worth my while. I have a stash here in this warehouse. A custom rifle. It's all yours, if you give me what is mine. I could use a new rifle. What do you think, Fierce Leader? Deal. Once we know where the stash is, give him the chip. Once there, in the corner, there's a duffel bag under the floor plate. Now give it to me. Alright, Yuli, it's all yours. Iga leans in, grabs the engineer's head with her left hand and pries his chip jack open with her right. She slaps the chip into a jack and clicks it shut. Seconds pass, nothing happened. What have you done? Why don't I feel anything? Oops, sorry Yuli. I guess that cyberware deactivator shut down your chip jack too. Somewhere in the back of your adult skull. I'm sure you probably knew that. But then, hope springs eternal, doesn't it? I said we'd give you the chip. I never promised that it would work. I'm going to kill you. Did you hear me? I'll rip out your spine. Never promised I'd let you live, either. Iga? You don't have to ask me twice. Suddenly the engineer's entire body bucks forward. His eyes bulge out of his skull and he beats the back of his head against the floor. He opens his mouth to speak, but only the sound of that comes is a gurgling scream. Something's wrong. Take a look at his hands. Bjork's mil-spec cyber arms are twitching. His fingers seem to move of their own accord, writhing aimlessly in the air. The light on his chip jack begins to blink. How long was that cyberware deactivator supposed to last? Longer than this. I'm going to kill Banniquin. The engineer's body surges forward, a violent convulsive motion. His eyes bulge out of his skull, then his chest evaporates in a spray of light. Step back, Mags. Way back. Oh, fuck me. As you watch the chemical fire that ranges from the engineer's body, blackens his flesh and spits sparks across the room. It's the same reaction you saw when the drone went up, a thermite reaction. It takes a full minute for him to stop twitching. His employers Winternight, they must have implanted that thing in him. Yeah, and judging from the way he reacted, he didn't know they'd done it. They must have thrown it in while he was getting other work done. I'm willing to bet if we hadn't used that cyberware deactivator on him, he'd have gone up before he had the chance to spill any names. If you were looking for proof of who his employers were, I think this was it. Yeah, we know who to warn the flux state about. Let's grab the rifle and go. We're done here. Well, I think that is a good place to leave it, ladies and gentlemen, as, yeah, it has really gone over time. Oh, here's the rifle I got. Ooh. It's a super advanced Stare Org. Can you use it? Excellent. Well, yeah, I'll save it here and we'll decide what to do with Winternight next time. I do hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. Chatty bye.